Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of the award winning Fearless Tarot and Tarot in Love, Consulting the Cards and Matters of the Heart. Both books are available from Llewellyn, and they take tarot to a place of personal empowerment instead of fear, doom, or gloom. And so if you're interested in those books, you can find them online, or also there's some links on my website, ElliotOracle.com. And with that housekeeping out of the way, it is time for this week's Oracle Reveal. So earlier on my social media, I placed up a photo of three different animals and asked you to use your intuition and just ask yourself which animal seems to be calling to you, because that animal has your message. And the three animals were the rooster, the phoenix, and the dragonfly. So if you're just joining me now, ask yourself which animal seems to be calling to you. It doesn't have to be your favorite animal, it just has to be the one that seems to be getting caught in your head today. So, for those of you who picked the rooster animal spirit, the rooster is really all about awakening. The rooster is the one that crows in the morning. And if you're attracted to rooster, this could be a time where it's time to wake up, where it's time to get alert or clear. And remember that your power is found in this present moment. It isn't going to be found from waiting for some great achievement well into the future. It isn't going to be found in the past version of yourself. It is now. And so Rooster could just say, it's time to wake up. It's time to snap out of it. It's time to focus on who are you right now? Get to know yourself and also reclaim your personal power. First card for Rooster is where is it best for you to place your focus this next week? And we have Temperance reversed. And anytime Temperance comes up reversed, this could be a time where something feels lopsided in your life. You know, if we look up the word temperance in the dictionary, it means moderation. And so when reversed, the Temperance card can indicate something is being done in excess. Sometimes the excess could be excessive worry, or sometimes the excess could be doing a behavior over and over and expecting that different result, and it doesn't seem to be happening. Whatever the excess is for you, the angel of temperance is all about redistributing energy. The angel pours one full cup of water into the empty cup. And so you might need to take stock of your life right now and ask yourself, where has all my energy been pooled? Where have I been focusing all my focus, all my mental energy? And what feels lopsided? What have I been neglecting? The angel of temperance is telling you it's time to consciously pour the waters back into the parched part of yourself, the part of yourself that's been neglected. And I feel like that's what's really going to help you not only feel more clear and empowered and awake at this time, but it's also going to help you feel balanced and not like you're on this hamster wheel of expecting change and then nothing seeming to improve. The next card is going to be advice from your inner wisdom. And we picked the Three of Wands, which is so appropriate for the rooster. The Three of Wands, I think if I did a poll for what card on the Oracle Reveal appears the most, I think Three of Wands shows up well beyond every other card. And here we see the sun rising over the ocean that's glowing orange. And this figure is looking outward. And he's remembering that his power is in the present, in his present choice. He is richly dressed on his little island, which means he's probably important there, but he's looking outward. He's looking at where he wants to go next. And so this is sometimes a card of looking toward the future and not having it all decided already, not because of some major plan you're already coming up with, but instead approaching the future as a wide open canvas of which you get to paint whatever creation you want onto this thing. And some people feel daunted by that. They're like, oh my God, the future's yawning before me. What am I going to do with all of it? And yet the Three of Wands can indicate that this is a time for you to be open, to be excited about the next adventure, to know that as the sun sets here, it's also rising there. And as one part of your life might be coming to a close right now, there is this really wonderful new opportunity to create new conditions for yourself well into the future. And I love the Three of Wands because it says, despite your worst fears, nothing's been irrevocably screwed up yet. It is wide open and waiting for you. And so it's all dependent on the choices you're making now. And then the mythic archetype that's going to teach you this next week is actually Kronos. And the card says he's the Titan god of civilization and tyranny, but Kronos is unique. He's the father of Zeus and the elder Olympian gods. And there was a prophecy that his son would be stronger than him. So every time he had a child, he made his wife give him the child and he'd swallow that child whole. And those children, because they were immortal, they lived in his stomach for many years until finally Zeus, who was secreted away, comes and saves the day and releases all his brothers and sisters. But what is that myth teaching us? Well, Kronos can teach us that we might be over controlling with something. We might be afraid of letting our offspring out into the world, whether that is an actual physical offspring or sometimes also our ideas, our projects. The card says, I release my offspring or projects into the world, trusting that they will find a successful life of their own. And so there is this sense that you are kind of on the precipice if you're picking the rooster. You're waking up to what your new opportunities are, but you can't take the old ways with you. This is a time where you're needing to let go, let out whatever it is that you've been working on. Trust that it's going to find its way. Don't look at the future as this daunting, frightening, scary thing that you need to mangle and control and swallow down and not allow it its freedom. Instead, it's so important that you're allowing yourself and your projects to be let go, to let them go into the world, to let them speak for themselves. And sometimes, that whole need for control, like Kronos is teaching us, it's all based on a fear. It's all based on an insecurity. And so I just kind of feel like you need to let go. You need to stop controlling so much, and you need to be open to the future. Maybe the excess of temperance reversed is an excessive worry. Next, we're going to go into the phoenix animal spirit. And so if you're attracted to the phoenix, the phoenix is the famous bird that dies and turns into a pile of ash and then suddenly is rekindled and is born anew, blazing. The phoenix is that symbol of rebirth and renewal. So if you're attracted to phoenix, this could be a time of great resilience for you, where you might have felt defeated, or you might even felt like something has died in your life, and yet you're rekindling. You're going to get back up, dust yourself off, and blaze brighter than ever. First card for Phoenix is, where is it best for you to place your focus at this time? And we get the Eight of Cups, another very familiar card on the Oracle Reveal. The Eight of Cups is the card of soul searching. And it says that anything that isn't authentic for you, it just is not going to cut it anymore. The Eight of Cups shows that figure who is walking away from us. He's walking away from society. He doesn't care what we all think. He's going to the land of water. And water in the tarot represents our deeper feelings. What are we really feeling? What's really being harbored within? And there's that eclipse happening on the card where the moon is blocking out the sun. And the moon represents our inner authentic self, our deeper instincts, our deeper feelings, which can no longer be denied. And the sun represents our image and what we want other people to see and our best foot forward. And just now, the moon needs to take precedence. The inner self needs to take precedence over the image self. And so I just feel with the Eight of Cups, this is an important time for you to do a bit of soul searching, to get back in touch with who you really are, because there is this new version of yourself being born, and it needs to be infused with what's authentic within you. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you pick the Phoenix, is the Six of Swords. And again, there's a journey in both of these cards going on, isn't there? There is this sense that you're kind of leaving something behind, moving toward a future path. Also, the element of water features very prevalently in both cards. In the Six of Swords, we see the figures leaving the rough waters behind them, sailing toward the smooth waters. And so there is this release, this letting go of something that was old or outdated or turbulent. A lot of times the Six of Swords is associated with moving or travel, but it's also a symbol. It can indicate a metaphorical move or a transition from one state of being to another. But again, the symbolism is the same. You're looking for a new home. You're looking for a place that's less turbulent. You're looking for that safe harbor. And the Six of Swords says you're going to get it. The Six of Swords is a card of change in the tarot, but it's the benevolent change card. And it's as simple as just surrendering to the flow. So that element of water is going to be so important for you this next week if you're attracted to the Phoenix. Kind of counterintuitive when you think the Phoenix is so fiery. And so I just kind of feel like, there is this emotional quality or component that is definitely going to be rekindling your spirit. And you need to come to terms with it. And you need to bring the best parts with you in the boat. and leave the rest that doesn't serve you anymore behind. The mythic archetype that's going to help you this next week is Leto, and she's the mother of the holy twins, Artemis and Apollo. She is also a goddess who had to hide her children as she was giving birth to them because they were considered illegitimate. And the queen of the gods, Hera, was upset and after Leto. And so Leto is the goddess of hiding things, keeping things secret until the right moment. And her card says, when the time is right, I will know to express my full light. And how beautiful with that Phoenix archetype. There is this tendency right now for Phoenix to maybe not just go in blazing now, but it's like preparing for when to blaze, preparing for when to shine. This might be a time where you're going through maybe even some of that metaphorical letting go or death process with the Phoenix. You're turning to the ash. You're coming to terms with the emotions or the feelings. But when the time is right, you will shine again. You will come out of the ashes again. And that Phoenix is saying that this is going to be a new and improved version of you. And so I just feel like, I don't know, something magical is happening with the Phoenix. I mean, it's a magical animal already, but it just feels like for all of you who picked the Phoenix, you're getting prepared to make a very important life change that's absolutely going to help you shine. And then we're going to go into the dragonfly animal spirit. And dragonfly is sometimes an archetype of illusion. And if you're attracted to dragonfly this week, this could be a time where you're recognizing your own illusions, the things you tell yourself, the things that you're just sort of on automatic with. It can also be a time where you're recognizing the spell that's being cast on you by other external illusions. This could be being told what to think just by your social media feed or whatever the algorithm is deciding to feed you today. This might be an important archetype for you if you're watching this to snap out of it and to focus on what's real right now, what's going on with me. Maybe it's time to turn off the phone and get back out into the world or make a human connection or not get just stuck in your head or stuck in a spiral. Also, the dragonfly can indicate that you need to see through the illusions of others. You need to see through the masks that they wear, or you might need to see through the show they're putting on, and really just ask yourself if that's really resonating with who you are. So I just feel like it's sort of like a check yourself moment for the dragonfly. First card for Dragonfly is where is it best for you to place your focus this next week? And we get the sensitive Page of Cups. He is a wonderful card when it comes to creativity or artistry, but he's also one of the most sensitive cards in the tarot. For me, the Page of Cups is the inner child of the tarot. He represents that pure part of you, that magical child, that part of yourself that is locked away, that cannot be defiled. And I just feel, that magical part of yourself is very sensitive. Just like a child, it's very impressionable and sensitive to the environment it finds itself in. And just as you wouldn't let a toddler into just any environment, you wouldn't take them to, a rowdy bar, for example, or you wouldn't have them around people who don't really exemplify the qualities that are respectable or that you would want them to grow into. So too, you need to be selective about where you're putting your energy. And so this, again, with the dragonfly symbolism, it might be a time to get very conscious of where am I dwelling energetically with the majority of my time? And is this something I'm absorbing that is making me feel more creative or magical or limitless or pure? Or is this something that's making me feel polluted, heavy, not so great about myself? Bitter, jaded, all those other things. Page of Cups is really telling you that it's time to listen to the fish again. It's time to listen to the little fish whispering in your ear, the fish who knows the bottom of the sea and where all the sunken treasure is. It's time to get back in touch with that magical part of yourself and to go deeper and not just accept the artifice right now. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you pick the dragonfly, a very appropriate card with the Hermit. The Hermit is just about that. He's all about going within. He has that lantern which shines the light on the dark places within. And how interesting, the element of water with this as well. The Page of Cups with the water behind them. Here, the water's frozen with the Hermit. Frozen water is a symbol for emotions or feelings that you've put on ice or may have become numb to. And it's such an important time for you to wake up, to go within, to shine that warm lantern on those snows and allow those feelings to flow again. The Hermit can indicate that this is a time to trust your inner wisdom, your inner guide. And this is not about other people or acceptance or even your place in the external world. This is a time to turn inward. This is going to be an important moment for you to really get clear in yourself. And I just kind of feel like the Hermit is guiding you back within to get back in touch with something that might have been forgotten. And the mythic archetype that's going to help you appropriately is Mnemosyne. It's from Mnemosyne that we get the word mnemonic device from. She's the goddess of memory. And her card says, I recall the appropriate information whenever I need it. It comes from my own or a collective memory. And I think Mnemosyne is saying it's time to remember yourself. It's time to remember who you are. And it's time to know the difference between what you're absorbing and what your spirit is purely on its own. It's time to also marvel at the beauty of that inner child and let it play. Give it a safe environment. It's time to maybe step back or step away with the Hermit from the pressures of the external world. And maybe it's time to play music and dance and let yourself go. Or maybe it's time to create something just for the sake of the joy of it, not because it needs to be perfect. But I just kind of feel like this is a very important time for everybody this week to do a little bit of soul searching, to be awake and aware, and to get clear on who you are and where you're going. And that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you like my readings, you will absolutely love a one-on-one tarot session with me. And you can book that at elliotoracle.com. I get a lot of questions about, do you do readings? Are they available? And I put them in every video. So hopefully you get to this part. Maybe you just listen to your animal and stop playing this. Also, I do appreciate a thumbs up. It really does help my channel grow. So if you did enjoy this information, that just means the world to me. And also sharing it with our friends, subscribing, it helps grow this community that's based on personal empowerment with tarot and not fear or old memes of, negativity. I do hope you all have a wonderful week, whatever it is that you're doing, and I will see you again here next week as always, so do take care.